Breathing is really powerful. And with breathing, it's called Wechselatmung. So you breathe in through your left and right nostril in and out. It's in the yoga, it's called Anula Viloma. And with this breathe technique, you reset your nervous system, like your vagus. Yeah, your parasympathicus is activated, so you are calm. But there are techniques also like box breathing, forced breathing. And I think when you're really stressed, you want to reset. It depends on which level you are.
Welcome to the NextGen Scale podcast. I'm your host, Elena, AI consultant and architect of change. In every episode, I sit down with the founders, innovators, and leaders who are building the future, the ones who are solving the hardest problems and turning disruption into opportunity. If you want to stay ahead of the curve, this podcast is for you. Let's get into it. My next guest is Kristina Engel, a certified stress mentor, yoga teacher, and keynote speaker who has built a unique method combining stress coaching with yoga to help high performance move from burnout to balance. Her work focuses on mental strength, resilience, and sustainable stress management. Through her Engel.hub Studio, she brings it all together in one accessible online space. Hi, Kristina. So glad to have you here.
Hi, Elena. It's so nice to be here, and thank you for the kind introduction and that I'm in your podcast. Thank you.
You worked 7 years in a hospital and hit a breaking point in 2019. What actually happened, and what was the moment you knew something had to change?
I need to go far back. It's really interesting because when I think about it, it was, for me, it was a big change. And I always said I worked 7 years as a nurse. And in this time, the work as a nurse was like a big topic. And it was like my identification to be a nurse and to do this education. What I didn't expect is that life happens. So that's life, that like something happens when... for example, people in your family are gone away, and you lose people you love. And for this, it was my brother, and it was like I didn't expect that. It was like just happens, and it was one day, and he's gone. So this was in the middle of my education. Not in the middle, it was in the end of my education to get a pediatric nurse. So I think this point in my life was the biggest point for to getting something roll on, that something has to be changed. And the worst thing is, and it's, I think, in our society, is that we forget to hear about what our body is saying to us, and that something is wrong and is doing wrong. And in the years I worked in hospitals, I didn't recognize that I have to change something. And then happens the breaking point, because it was too much stress, too much pressure in two parts in my life, even in work, even in private life. And I think it was just too much. But now I think it was the best thing that could happen to me, because I didn't get to do the things or to get the change that I have now, or I wouldn't be the person who I'm now.
Most people who burn out go quiet, and you went and built something, especially after a hard event in your personal life. Where did the courage to start over come from?
I would say it's like when you really love something, and when you have like really passion for this, what you do. Courage is just one little part, because I think it comes with, I didn't know how to describe, because how I said is, when you love something, really what you do, and you have the passion to do it, then you don't need like a lot of courage, I think, because it's inside of you. You know what I mean with it?
Yes, you follow the path and you see the next step and the next step, and then things get clear.
Yes. But I think the most courage is also when you're like, don't know how to build something up. Especially when I started my yoga education, I completed it, and then I said, okay, I want to do something on my own and to build something up. So the next step was like, I didn't didn't know how to build up a company. I didn't know how to get clients. I didn't know how to, yeah, do all the things. So I get someone who helped me. So I signed a coaching that the person helped me to how I build up a company, how to do my like invoices and all the stuff. I think that's the best point, and that's the most important point, that if you don't know something, or you don't have the knowledge but you have the passion, you can help yourself with someone from the outside that can help you.
Yes. Yeah, I think this is very important when you're looking to find a way to not to do it on your own, but actually also look for help and for people who already did it. So
Yes.
the transition is a bit smoother. And also for a lot of entrepreneurs, they come to this burnout moment and it's already late. They didn't actually realize that
Mhm.
they weren't listening to the signals of their body for too long. And when an entrepreneur hits a crisis, what's the first thing they need to do?
The first thing they need to do is to be honest. And I think to be honest, to say, I need something to change. And I think it's the most important, like also the really important point to, yeah, have the courage here to say to you that you're okay, it's something is wrong. So what I can do now, if I realize it's thought like I'm in the beginning of burnout, or I'm in a burnout, or it's in the end, or like I'm just in the middle of it and it's going on. So then you need really to heal to yourself and to get some help, because without help, it's not easy to get out. So I can say it even again and again. The best thing is to get really help from outside. Even when you talk with friends, talk with family and friends are really, in deep connection to you, and they're honest to you as well, like family as well. So you can help yourself when you talk with people and talk with your friends, family, and then maybe they can help you as well to get someone who can help yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially nowadays, there is so much pressure put on us from the society. We need to do our jobs. We need to have time for our friends, for the family, like to manage it all, to take care of our health. And the hustle culture is still seen as a badge of honor. Like if you're checking all the boxes and doing all the stuff. And this is especially hard for entrepreneurs who are walking a path that is not clear. A lot of people struggle with mental health. And what are the early signs that entrepreneurs tend to ignore when they need a break?
Yeah, good question. I think it's really individual. Like, yeah, there are general signs, but in my opinion, every people is individual by themselves, so they can really, if it's good when they have connection, when you have a connection to yourself and you really know, okay, something's not good, and like I didn't know that about me because my body reacts, or why I'm like anxious or unconcentrated. So like unconcentration, to be anxious, to be like nervous, if it's not normal to you. Yeah. And when you maybe forgot a lot of things, or like you have headache. Yeah, I think that's the most first sign. Like, yeah. And even when you can't give yourself a really rest. So when you're just thinking too much about something, or about the day, or couldn't quit thinking about the job, or like this. So it's first of all as well to be in a good connection to yourself, that okay, that's not normal for me. Why is it happening now?
Yes, absolutely. Especially with this sense of urgency that so many people have to deal with when they want to finish the day and also to finish all the tasks and everything that they're doing. It's just the habit to say, no, it's enough and I can leave the things for tomorrow and then it will be okay.
Yeah.
I think that takes a lot of practice and just hearing to your inner boundary. Okay, should I stop now? Or Yes, better to continue tomorrow. And you're also a yoga teacher.
Yes.
And science shows that yoga lowers cortisol, sharpens focus, and improves emotional regulation. Can you walk us through your method, how you combine stress, coaching, and yoga? What makes that combination more powerful?
Yeah, let me think about how I can easily describe this. I think my point of view was when I started is because I mean I had two educations, even yoga and coaching for stress prevention. So and I thought I want just don't want to do one thing, I want to do both things. And most importantly, I realized that when you do yoga, it's as well really individual. So maybe you need in the yoga class something else in the other class because there are so many yoga arts and yoga styles which we can do. So then was my thought like, okay, what I need to do about the person, like when I know, like in the coaching process. So we do first of all the coaching, and I need to find out, okay, what's the goal, what's the team, what we should to talk about. You know, we can talk about stress points. For example, you have inside of you points like perfectionism, controlling, efficiency, everybody's darling. You know, like that's our structure which you learn from your childhood, and we can find out this as well. And when we find out this and we know this, I can combine this in the yoga class. So the combination is like that I have the teams from the people and I talk with them. I know like the parts of them, like the parts of perfectionism, the part of everybody's darling, for example, and I know what we have to work. And then the part of embodiment, like in the yoga style, I can focus in the yoga on how can I make the yoga class like this that the person feel it also in the nervous system, not just about talking about it. So the change should not happen just mentally as well as physically in the yoga class. Yeah. So this
Yeah.
is really individual, what every person needs. And yeah, if I just describe it easily, we have a team, we have a goal, and with the team and the goal, what the person need, I create this in the yoga style and yoga class for the people.
Yeah, I think this is also very important to go back to your body and ground yourself a bit. And especially for entrepreneurs, it helps a lot when you go out of your mind and focus on your body.
Yeah.
And there is also this tension between wanting to be a high performer and the need for rest. How both of them can be combined, and is this actually possible?
I think the expectation or yeah, the expectation to be a high performer is not bad. I think it's also good that you can perform, that you want to be high performer. It's completely good. It's fine for you. But I want to make the example of maybe someone who hears this or you know is example of push and pull. This was also a topic in the education I did. So, I mean, when you're a high performer and you're in your push state, it's good because when you're in your push state, you get your goals, you achieve your goals, you get your work done, yeah, and it's good. Or you have a goal for like, I don't know, you want to run a marathon or you do high rocks or something. Yeah, that's a goal, and that's not bad. That's good. So it's also not to be in a state. Okay, so good to be a high performer. It's good to be a high performer, but when you also think about that we just don't just not have a push state, we have also pull state. So we have not only push, we have pull, we need both of them because yeah, when you think of pull state, for example, it's like it's more soft, it's more rest, it's more to be in recovery with your body. Yeah, for this I love the metaphor of breathing because when we are people need to breathe. We need to breathe in and we need to breathe out, and we have both of them. And without each other, like of breathe in and out, we can't live. So when you want to be a high performer, you can't just live in a push state because you get burned out. You can't just live in a pull state because and then you get burned out. So the balance is that you have lifestyle or like a day, it's a week, it's a month, a phase when you can push. It's completely fine that you create some energy, some fire, but you also need to rest and recovery. Yeah, it's the same when you maybe want to do a marathon. It's good when you train, but when you train too much, you get injuries. Yeah, sorry that I'm talking so much, but I think it's so interesting because I'm also like, there is a person, he wants to do a challenge, maybe some more news is he wants to do 100 high roxes in 100 days. And now you see in the person, he has injuries in the bones because the recovery phase, it's not that long. And when you don't get a recovery, you don't listen to your body, then you get injuries. So it's good to be in deep connection to your body, to yourself, and to allow you some rest. I think it's the basic.
Yeah, absolutely. What's the fastest way to bring your nervous system down in the middle of a stressful day?
I think it also depends on the person. For me, it's breathing. I think breathing is like really powerful. And there's, I don't know the name in English. It's called Wechselatmung. So you breathe in through your left and right nostril in and out. It's in the yoga. It's called Anula Viloma. And with this breathe technique, you reset your nervous system, like your vagus, your parasympathicus is activated, so you are calm. But there are techniques also like box breathing, forced breathing. And I think when you're really stressed and you want to reset, it depends on which level you are. Maybe for someone it's good, it's good to go for a walk and then do the breathing. When you are in a state you can do the breathing, you can do the breathing. But for me, the fastest way is really to work with your breath, because then you're in a good state and your nervous system gets calm.
Very interesting. Yeah, it's again that connection with the body.
Yes.
Routines are everywhere in self help advice, but do entrepreneurs actually need the same rhythm every day, or is that just another pressure we put on ourselves?
I think it's also this depends on the person himself or herself, because when you personally you need routines, it's good because you're really structured and it's not bad. It depends on it's why you're doing this, why you are doing this. It's like is it controlling, or why you are doing so much routines? Yeah, I would also look at this one, why you need this. Yeah, what's happening when your routines are not there, so you can also experiment. I think that's why every person is individual and every one of us needs something else. And one person maybe just don't need a routine. The person says, okay, I will start with feeling what I need today, and I will go with it. The other person says, but okay, I can do this. I need like to stand up, to drink one glass of water, to get to the sports and so on. But I think there are like main routines that are good. Yeah, to get to movement, to do some sports, to, I don't know, for me, for example, to meditate. But this also really depends on, what you need exactly and why you need a routine, or why you don't need a routine. And that's our, like, I think are important questions.
Absolutely. Because there is a lot of advice when it comes to routines
Yeah.
for productivity. For example, writing down two things every morning, what needs to get done,
Yeah.
or doing some sport, or going for a walk every morning. And I think this can be really helpful. And as you said, it's so important that the people try different things and find out what works for them, because some people might prefer to be more active in the morning than other people in the middle of the day. And it's important to find what works for you and makes you more productive. Or you're having your own online space that is called Engel.hub Studio.
Yes.
What is the vision for that platform?
I think the vision for the platform is that it should be a space where people really get connected to themselves again, and a space where people are seen. And I want to build something up that people also get inspired and motivated to get some change. Like, and I think the most vision is that, I mean, everyone says that I want to help people, but I want to help people who are really want to change something. And I think that there's so much power in it when people see that they can really change their life, and that they have someone they can talk to, who can they practice with, and they also have other people where they connect. And I think that's one big vision, to help people to get their life changed.
Which are the main change areas that you're noticing when people come to your community?
I think the most people who come, they were not in the middle of burnout. They had a burnout, for example, or they want to change some in a private life, like to set boundaries. That was a lot. I didn't know, but there, I don't know why there's like so much people pleaser and like people who need to get really their boundaries and to say it as well. And there were a lot of people who didn't have the courage to say no or something. So we need to work on this and to yeah, and also to deepen the connection to the body as well, like to hear to the body, to have the courage to yeah, say what they really want and to yeah, get some more, how it's called in German, self securance, to be to be,
Yes, more inner certainty.
yeah, some more inner strange as well to, yeah, that's also.
Yeah, I think that's really important, especially with boundaries nowadays. We need to get to know ourselves better and to understand what is out of capacity and also to work maybe or expanding on it or to communicate our boundaries better.
Yeah.
And we're reaching the last question. If an entrepreneur listening today, building something is already running on empty, what's the one thing they could start doing today to help them not lose momentum?
Okay. So you mean when they're in the beginning of like not to feel good or in a burnout?
When they're very stressed
Yeah.
and when an entrepreneur has, for example, a stressful project and they still need to continue working because they
Yeah.
have maybe some deadline and they already feel that they're on the end of their power and they need some break, but they still need to maybe not at full speed, but they need to continue what they're doing.
Okay. I think the first thing when you're like in a state where you're really stressed and there's a deadline or something and you don't know how to reach it, or you're like too much stressed, um, it sounds like a little bit crazy, but you need a rest. So you need it shouldn't be 1 hour or something. You need just like 5 minutes to get out of the situation, or 10 minutes. Just go out, or like go for a walk, or just close your eyes for 5 minutes and just breathe, or for like 2 minutes. But the point is like we are like too when we are stressed, we are too much in our head and we're thinking so much that we are have lose of creativity, lose of energy, and lose of that we have like other solutions which we don't see now. So the best thing is like to change maybe the room, or like to go outside. You need to change your environment. So like to go into like to go for a walk, like I said, like for 5 to 10 minutes. So then come back with a clear mind, for example, yeah, or a type of people you really like, or do like something which you really like and what gives you energy. Yeah, but we like often think that we didn't have time for this, but in this part it's more important to do this, because then you get your energy again and then you have more creativity, your brain is working better, and yeah, and you get your solution faster done for this situation.
The more you want to hurry up, the better it is to slow down at that moment and look at the things at a new perspective. Christina, thank you so much for the conversation and being on the podcast, sharing insights how entrepreneurs can design their life and have more time for resting, balance, and at the same time being a hard performer. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the invitation. It was a pleasure to be here.